Cape Cod Broadcasting weaves the listening environments of 99.9 WQRC, Ocean 104.7, WFCC Classical 107.5, Cape Country 104, and CapeCon.com's website experience to reflect the lifestyles of the people who live, work, and play on Cape Cod. We hope that you enjoy this podcast.
Good morning. I'm Laura Reckford, and this is Sunday Journal. I'm here in the studio with Karen Solovay, Suzanne Carter, and Mara Schusterman, all of Flower Angels USA, a new nonprofit here on the Cape. Welcome to you all, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
And let's first start out just explaining what Flower Angels USA is. Suzanne, can you tell us what your organization's mission is?
Yes, Flower Angels is a nonprofit company, and the mission is to deliver our joy and uplift spirits to people in nursing homes who have few, if any, visitors. That's what our mission is.
And so very interesting. This sort of fills a need that we haven't heard about before. Tell me how you got inspired to start this organization.
Well, actually, my friend Karen was in Florida volunteering for an organization that delivered flowers mostly to hospitals, and she called me and told me about it. So I went down there and volunteered and worked with them, and it was such a beautiful thing that I decided to come back and open Flower Angels in memory of my mom, who's recently passed.
And then you also you did some research on people in nursing homes and how often they get visited. Is that right?
Yes, that's true. What we've discovered is 85% of the people in nursing homes have very few, if any, visitors, and 60% of the people in nursing homes have never had a visitor. They go directly from their home to the hospital to the nursing home, and so this is the largest growing population. People who have been who are entering nursing homes, and they're being actually abandoned by society. So we figured that Flower Angels would change that one bouquet at a time.
And I think you just started this spring, and Karen, perhaps you can tell us, you started and you applied for a nonprofit status, and how did that work?
Right. Well, we found out, we really knew nothing about nonprofits, so that's not our background. So we found that we had to apply for a 501c3 form to start a nonprofit, and we thought we would just apply and we would get it the next day. So aside from the fact that we do not have computer skills, and we wound up stressing for many days how to fill out that form, we were then told that it could take up to 8 or 9 months. So Suzanne and I and Mara did a lot of praying after being kind of bummed out to start with. We really did a lot of prayers, and it wound up that the 501c3 came within 3 weeks, which was amazing and kind of unheard of. So we really felt like we were on the right path.
And I know many people wait many, many months for those, so that was very fortunate with however you fell into the bureaucracy. Right. You had good timing. And so tell me how it actually works. Where do you get the flowers, and how do you pick which nursing homes to go to?
Well, what we do is we did a lot of research beforehand of the nursing homes within the area from, Bourne through P-Town. And we did a lot of calling and explaining what we do and seeing if the activities directors, who actually are wonderful, most of them were right on board when they heard about it, and seeing if we could set up times and dates, and then for the delivery. Then we contacted wedding venues and to see if websites of brides to see if we could have them donate their wedding flowers. Then we contacted lots of grocery stores and supermarkets, and Trader Joe's and Whole Foods have come through beautifully, particularly Trader Joe's. We pick up twice a week from them. Suzanne can tell you a little bit about who picks it up, too, because it's pretty interesting. And we got the flowers, and we Suzanne and I were like, oh, gosh, we have no vases. So she put out requests to churches and senior citizen centers and all over for vases, and then it's like, be careful what you wish for, because we have now like 3,000 vases and they all have to be washed, and it became a vase nightmare, to which we were really very, very grateful. But
well, it's a great way to repurpose and recycle things,
exactly.
Because obviously if people are using the wedding flowers for the day of the wedding, they still have some life in them, and so you can come pick them up and bring them to people who will appreciate them.
Exactly, because the flowers are actually thrown out from the weddings, and especially because Cape Cod is a destination, the capital of the destination weddings, apparently. And so people come in from all over, and then they fly away, to go on their honeymoon, and also the flowers are left. So
now, how does it work that who comes and picks up those flowers? How does that work?
Well, I pick up the wedding venue flowers on Sunday. I go around to when they call us, the brides donate the flowers in advance to us, and I go around to like Wachusett Inn, Witchmere, Chatham Bars, and some of the large wedding venues, and I pick them up. I have to make many trips because I just have an SUV. We haven't gotten a van yet, which we hope one day to get, and then we go back and forth and take them to the church where our home base is, and we built a cold room in the church. And then for Trader Joe's, Community Connections has recently stepped up, and they pick up the flowers for us twice a week at Trader Joe's in their wheelchair vans, because we get a lot of flowers. And it's a community project, so they're really helpful to us. We call them flower angel collectors, and they're really excited to do it, and we're really thrilled to having them help us.
So the process is you pick up the flowers, then you bring them to, and which church is that you use?
West Dennis Community Church.
And then you have your vases there.
We have our vases, and then we have wonderful, fabulous, really awesome volunteers who donate their time. People have come in to making the bouquets. People have come in with little or no experience. People have come in with a lot of experience. And everybody bonds together and helps each other, and the quality of the bouquets has grown tremendously.
You have people who are maybe specialists in flower arranging, and some that haven't done it before.
Some people haven't done it at all, and some, yes, and some have flower arranging in their background. And we share all the techniques. And I was scared to death to think about arranging bouquets that someone else was going to see, and I was not the only one who was scared to death, and people helped out, and now it's all very comfortable, and the volunteers just fly through the flowers, discarding what's not good, because we're totally green. We try and be a totally green organization.
I'm Laura Reckford, and this is Sunday Journal. We're talking about a new nonprofit here on the Cape called Flower Angels. Now, once you gather and put the flowers in the vases and arrange them, and then do you go to just one nursing home each day, or how do you pick which nursing home to go to?
It's more of we're on a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So the nursing homes, we actually go to two. We try and do two and deliver twice a week. And that kind of leads into, which I'll let Suzanne talk about, our need for a van, because we have flowers just in our cars. Fortunately, people don't all have little Mini Coopers, but we have regular cars, and the flowers are just, coming out of the windows, and the trunks are filled, and it's difficult. But we make the trip to people, and then we deliver it, and our volunteers will deliver room to room, going in and saying, "Hi, we're the Flower Angels," and it just brings such a smile to people's faces. And I just want to say one other thing, and then, Suzanne, I'd like you to talk about the van if you're comfortable, but people's reactions are like, but who made these flowers for us, or for me? And I'll say, well, there are people thinking of you, and we want to just give you some sunshine and make you happy. And they're like, but who did this for me? It's really a measure of disbelief on their part. that somebody out there, because they feel so isolated, someone out there is thinking of them. That's on top of the fact that the flowers are beautiful.
That's wonderful, and the reaction. And you bring them door to door, and so each resident gets a bouquet. And
we try and have the activities directors pick out people who really are isolated and maybe don't get a lot of visitors. But to my shock, really, a lot of times it winds up to be almost everybody on the floor.
Mm-hmm. And then at this point, have you visited, have you gone to all of the nursing homes on the Cape, and now you're making a second round? Is that where you're at with the process?
We've been to all of them from Provincetown to Bourne, and we also go to hospice houses. We have quite a few of those. And then we've been to all of them once and quite a few of them 2 or 3 times. We've delivered to 1,600 or 1,700 people since May. So we deliver a lot of bouquets. Sometimes we deliver 200 or more a week. And recently we started to, some of the florists started to give us these beautiful wedding roses that are left over from the wedding. So we made little bud vases and we deliver them to Meals on Wheels patients or clients. So they're really excited to get those with their little Meals on Wheels lunches. So it's been really a special.
That's wonderful. So a lot of people are having the effects from this. And it sounds like you're looking for a donation of a van. Is that right?
Yeah, we really need a van, and we're trying to figure out how to get one, or how to get one at a reduced cost, because most of our volunteers are, older. Our oldest is almost 90, and she's magnificent. She's wonderful. And it's hard to pick up these things and put them in the car like these. We can deliver 100 bouquets at a time. And with a van, we could build a little aluminum ramp and just wheel a flower cart that we purchased in with the flowers. And then we could wheel it out to the nursing home or wheel it around the nursing home and do this all in one trip in one car instead of 3 cars. And, it's expensive for gas to go to Bourne and Provincetown and all of this. So we're really hoping that somebody will help us to get a van or to do a fundraiser or something like that.
And do you also look for volunteers to arrange the flowers and deliver the flowers? Is that something you'd like?
Yes, we could really use more volunteers. As I said, the volunteers that we have are wonderful and committed, and we could certainly use more volunteers. Yeah, and people can come and for an hour at a time, or people can come for the course of the 3-hour workshop arranging. We do the arranging on right now Monday and Wednesdays. The time's a little flexible, but somewhere between like 11 and 3, I would say. So we could always use more volunteers, and I just really stress that no experience is necessary. And it's really a lot of fun. I mean, all the volunteers are kissing and hugging each other by the time we leave. So we never really thought that was an outgrowth of it. But it's a very bonding experience because you're doing something really good and worthwhile, and the flowers are beautiful.
And how do people get in touch with you? Do they telephone? Do they go to a website? Do they use email? What's the best way?
Well, we have a website, and it's www.flowerangelsusa.org. So it's a great website. It's a lot of fun. We have a mascot called Grace. She's our flower angel, and so it's a cute website. And then our phone number is 508-280-9869.
And then Flower Angels USA, and so is it actually across the country?
Well, the reason we called it Flower Angels USA, it started off being called Cape Cod Flower Angels, but when we applied for our 501c3, or 50c, whatever it is, then what happened, people had already contacted us from other states like California, Ohio, Connecticut, Dallas, Texas, New York, to see if they could open a Flower Angels, like a friend of a friend told a friend. And so then we figured, wouldn't it be great if people open these nonprofit organizations in their community, that's all you need is like a hospital and a grocery store with flowers, or a wedding venue, or even a funeral home or something like that. We don't need flowers from funeral homes, but then everybody could do it. And then it's a much needed, I think it's a much needed mission, and it makes us feel wonderful about the work that we're doing. The other thing I'd like to say is part of the mission was for us to employ differently abled young adults in a loving, supportive environment. So we currently have 2 that are paid employees. Those are our only paid employees. And one is my daughter, Mara, and one is Kevin, and we call him our vase engineer. He comes in every Thursday, and he washes vases for 3 hours, and he is just a delight. And my daughter's wonderful, too. And now we have, I think, 8 or 10 volunteers from Community Connections picking up the flowers. So it's really a beautiful environment, and it's just a lovely business. It's wonderful.
And for people who don't know what Community Connections is, maybe you can explain briefly.
Community Connections is a day hab and a life skills business, an organization that provides opportunities for people to go spend their day and do different community service projects and different activities. And they also work with people on life skills, teaching them how to be more independent for their life. So they do both. They provide job coaches to come into organizations to help their clients learn a job, and they stay with them until they can do it independently. And they're wonderful job coaches. So we feel very blessed that they came along.
Well, it's quite a collaboration with using a lot of different agencies and volunteers and getting people together. I've been talking to Karen Solovay, Suzanne Carter, and Mara Schusterman, and thank you all for coming. And unfortunately, we're out of time. I'm Laura Reckford, and this is Sunday Journal.
This podcast is a presentation of Cape Cod Broadcasting, which is solely responsible for its content. Thank you for listening. For more information, please visit us at capecodbroadcasting.com.